Well, hello everyone, and thanks for sticking with us this far. I know it's been a long night, and we're still here, still covering E3 2017. That's right, GiantBomb.com's coverage continues well into the night, and probably into the morning, with this, our group of guests. Hello, we got Arthur Gies here from Polygon.com.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, you know.
Yeah, yeah. We got Ben Reeves from Game Informer.
How's it going?
It's going fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Good. Yeah, no, welcome.
Mike Drucker of Bill Nye fame and How to Be a Person, the podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Drinking a nice water.
We'll say it's water.
We'll say it's water.
Yeah, okay. It's a clear liquid.
Yeah. Greg Miller, speaking of clear liquids, how's it going back there?
Good, Jeff. How are you? Pleasure to see you.
It's fantastic. It's good to see you. You can find out more about Greg Miller at patreon.com/
Kind of funny or kind of funny games.
Yeah,
so we also
both
have
of
a
them.
twitch.tv/ kind of funny games.
Twitch.tv, what?
YouTube, kind of funny and kind of funny games. I don't like how skinny you got.
All right.
Well,
Yeah. We've got Mary Kish from Twitch here.
Is skinny?
Hi.
That's depressing.
How you doing?
Good.
It's
pretty
good to see
good.
you.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen you since PAX. I don't think I've seen you since PAX.
Yeah, they've been keeping us pretty busy there. We've been watching some shows and
Yeah. You're
lots of Twitch.
Like, what's up with shoes?
Adding employees. You guys want to come to Twitch?
I hear the pay's good, so maybe, I don't know. Let's talk about it. Amarisse is here. Hello, hi. Also from Twitch now.
Yeah.
Just everyone.
A month and a half ago.
Yeah.
They're just importing everyone.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's how it goes. It's Amazon. It's just they ship them in 2-day free shipping, and everyone.
Drones.
gets
I got
them there.
primed.
Yeah, drones. All right. Well, thanks so much for being here. So, gosh, Arthur, we spoke earlier at the Microsoft Showcase. How's the show been going? I mean, you primarily. So this is something I used to run into years ago, primarily doing reviews.
Yes.
Is that when you go to E3,
They let me off my little island.
yeah, you get to like interact with people that you don't necessarily always interact with if you're truly reviews focused, and then sometimes they want to beat you up because you're reviews focused.
I mean, like that's more on Twitter where the salt has to be kept to
Fair
a
enough.
certain kind of minimum, especially during certain press conferences.
Yeah,
but, you
yeah.
know,
But how's it been going?
it's good. I get to leave my house and talk to people that are not my cats.
Yeah.
So it's good to see you, and instead of standing in line to play a game for half an hour, talk to you at the bar for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good time.
Ben Reeves, you work for a print magazine, so you do nothing here, right?
that's right.
You just kind of hang out.
Pretty good. I got some beers.
Yeah.
Having a pretty good average E3.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Game Informer does have a website, so
Yeah, I
obviously
guess. I don't know.
There's a little bit. There's some stuff that goes up.
We
Yeah.
write some
Gateway
things,
stands
yeah.
Yeah.
Blindfold myself and then I type some things on my keyboard.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Mike Drucker, are you going to the show? You're just like hanging out.
I'm just hanging out.
I mean, you did. I mean, obviously you're doing your thing.
Yeah, I'm doing my thing
in
out in
the
LA.
wonderful world out there. But you
Yeah.
have a history with Nintendo and
I was
these
a-
IGN kids.
I was a localizer in the Treehouse, and then I worked at IGN with Greg Miller on Up
you
and
did?
Down. We
Huh,
did.
big guy?
We did.
Yeah, we
We
did.
had a life
Amarisse,
together.
remember that day?
I was
That was a
there.
different time
Yeah.
then. 1995.
Yeah. The good old
Pear
days.
Schneider, 25.
Pear Schneider.
Hair down to here. Weird.
Yeah. Greg Miller, you just got into town.
I just got here. We're staying in a sex dungeon. It's awesome.
Oh, that's the best, man! You are
yeah.
living the fucking startup video game website
I know,
dream.
right?
Of
Yeah.
fucking.
You go look in the mirrors and you slide the mirror. Bedroom back there with the eyes wide shut mask.
Yes.
There's a video of it up on youtube.com/kindafunny.
Wow.
It's going to be like this the whole night, isn't it?
They shouldn't have put me behind you, baby.
It's all Patreon marketing from here.
Yeah. This is all. Yeah. Mary, what is Twitch doing at the show?
I produced the press conference days.
Okay,
So
all
I'm
right.
officially done.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Knock
So-
it back. Chug, 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 chug.
That's-
Yeah,
this
this is my kind of
lost
show,
your phone.
everybody.
It's just beer, it's fine.
Someone's gonna die on the stream.
You're good.
Yeah, that's not happening until Thursday. It's scheduled for the last segment on Thursday, so don't worry.
Dave Lang, right?
Yeah. According, depending on who you ask, Dave's been dead for a couple of years now, so we'll see. I don't know.
On the inside.
Yeah. So, Mary, producing the press conferences, is that just kind of like? I mean, do you have cameras set up there and you're actually like producing, calling shots, or are you like they sending you the feed like they used to send GameSpot and all that other stuff?
Right, yeah, we get like direct lines to all the press conferences and run them through Twitch TV. And then, interestingly enough, I think for like Sony's, we ended up uploading Sony's to Sony as well because their like stream went down at the last minute.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, I heard that they ran
Yeah.
into some stuff. Yeah, we actually had some trouble during Sony as well, so I guess it's just
Yeah,
going
they
on.
had, like,
That's how it
an
goes.
audio
Sometimes
thing.
the
It
internet
happens-
doesn't fucking work. It's just, you pay all this money for high-grade, weird corporate internet, and then it still breaks, and you're like, what are we even doing?
That's live, you know.
Yeah.
Then they just call you lazy.
Right, yeah.
Hope something gets better.
Hope it works. And Amarisse, you're also with Twitch. Like, what's your role? What are you doing at Twitch?
I'm just an executive assistant.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I just hang out.
There's no such thing as just when it comes to that sort of stuff.
No, because she's the EA to my boss's boss, so I really like it's working out really well.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for showing up.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Ben, I want to talk about this.
I like where this is going.
There's been a lot of smoke on the street.
Sure.
There's been a lot of talk
That's
on the
not a
internet.
phrase.
No, that's definitely.
Talking about my
Smoke on
dance
the
moves?
street.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, there's been a lot of smoke on the street lately about Bully 2.
Oh,
I heard Game Informer
the hot exclusive.
had the hot
Yeah.
exclusive leak on Bully 2
Yeah.
with Kevin's back jack.
That's right. Yeah.
It's about time.
Yeah, it's about time
Yeah.
that Kevin got
I think
back.
that's going to be a big game for us. We're not quite ready to talk about them yet, but
Yeah.
please look forward to playing.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to returning to Bullworth Academy and
Yeah,
employing
that's
the
right.
back jack.
Kevin.
Uh,
Everybody remembers Kevin, right?
no, Kevin's
Yeah.
everyone's favorite character from
Oh,
Bully.
my favorite.
Finally back in Bully 2. So this was maybe
Sorry.
one of my.
Christ, Kish!
So this
Your
is
fault.
this is one of my favorite things that has happened. One of my favorite weird, goofy ass things that I've heard of in a little
Sure.
while. Tell me about how Game Informer had a page on its site called Bully 2 Kevin's Back Jack.
Yeah, I can give you a quick overview. We have an internship program at Game Informer, which I help run. And we have internship training, which involves running through a lot of things in the back end of the magazine. And we set up a lot of stuff, and we make jokes, try to make it fun for the kids. And joke about a lot of stuff like Destiny 3, haha, oh, Half-Life 3, wouldn't that be funny if they made that? And one of the ones that we were like running through, making a skew, was Bully 2.
Yeah.
Which, why not?
There have been rumors.
And
Yeah.
we try to make these things sound ridiculous because, like, if they ever actually go online, we don't want people to think they're real, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Because that would be stupid.
That would be irresponsible.
It would report on that.
Yeah.
So I wrote Bully 2 Kevin's Back Jack, thinking nobody would ever think it's real. And we tried not to hit save or anything. I don't know what happened. I must have been drinking.
Published.
But, yeah, it was an intern training week, right? So
And this was this like recently or was this like months ago and it's been sitting there lying in wait?
This sounds
Please
like
tell me
the
it's been
biggest
years
lie.
ago.
interesting question. Yeah. So I think it was back in January.
Fantastic.
And somebody noticed it last week for randomly. So actually, I didn't know it was on the site because I thought I hadn't saved it.
Why would
right?
you?
So
Yeah,
yeah. And we're not supposed to actually release that cover story for another like 3 months. So
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently I saved it and went live, and then somebody picked it up and changed my life.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
And what's it been like since then getting to the bottom of the Bully 2 fiasco?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I woke up one morning and the internet was ablaze. With Bully
That's where the
2.
smoke in the street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Where there's smoke, there's a blaze.
I mean, what are you guys
On the
hoping to see in Bully 2, Kevin's Back Jack?
I don't know, some kids.
Are you-
Some, some good times.
I want
allowed
loot
to
drops
see
for
kids?
better slingshots.
I want to see him do it. I mean, what? What did you ask?
You also want to see kids.
Dating sim.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm tired of seeing Kevin's front. I'd like to see his back.
Yeah.
That's why Kevin's back, Jack.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
Also, Kevin's not a person in that game, right?
No.
I don't think so. It's been a long time since I
I
played
think-
Bully.
But at this point, yeah, the main character
yeah,
bully,
he's
Kevin,
probably
sure.
named Kevin.
You
Kevin's
can tell
in
me
Home
it's Kevin.
Alone. It's the same thing.
I believe
yeah,
you.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that damn Kevin.
Right.
I think
the
Kevin was one of our
bicycle.
interns,
Yeah.
actually.
The
Kevin's
bicycle.
the
Oh,
bicycle's
he
named
wore the
Kevin.
sweater vest, of course,
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
It's also amazing how much I enjoyed Bully and how little I remember of it as a game.
Right.
Totally.
Right.
You could tell me anything and I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember
Oh yeah, the
doing
back
that.
jack.
Sure.
That's the thing. It's the backpack you wear, and
Yeah,
then you
you
fall on your
jet
back, it
back
jacks
into
you
the
back up,
sea.
and you
Yeah,
stand up
sure.
straight.
Right.
Why
That
not?
relationship you got into with that teacher, man,
Oh
progressive.
man, that was great.
Heavy
Rockstar.
stuff.
Oh boy.
Whoa, right? That's why the game got
Persona
banned.
5.
So So then there was then Game Informer had to kind of get out and say like, we don't know about a Bully 2.
Yeah, we just thought it would be good to like clear the air and like set it official. Like, honestly, I don't know why people thought it was real to begin with. But we're like, oh, let's just make sure everybody knows this is not
luckily,
real.
near E3 is when the internet is at its most reasonable.
Yeah, because it was online for 6 months and nobody
Let's
noticed. But
put this
yeah.
through a test before we believe if this is true or false.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
E3, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I got the responses to that tweet from people going like, oh, yeah, right, sure.
You would say that.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course you'd say that. Of
course it's fake.
So do you feel that even though we're here talking about this right now, do you think that someone might still see this and think that, like, of course,
It's all
Bully
a
2
ruse.
is
Oh, I
happening?
hope so, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
at this point.
really, Rockstar is paying me to come on here and just make sure that
This is the viral campaign
smoke and mirrors.
for...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Are you playing the role of Kevin or of Kevin's back, Jack?
I'm Kevin's back.
Okay.
Jack is. We're not ready to talk about Jack. Quite
This is
yet.
actually why Sony's
trust
press
me-
conference is so short.
Yeah,
Because they were
once the
gonna
game
announce
leaked,
it.
they were like, well, fuck it. If it's already leaked, we
Now
don't
it's
want
canceled.
it.
Now,
Yeah.
like that and the Agent are the games that are finished and are never coming.
Yeah. Well, just add it to the list. Just that's
gotta wait
Rockstar's
for
good
Bully
at-
3.
Yeah, announcing Sony games.
There's always the
They're
hope
great,
since,
though.
since Rockstar owes PlayStation exclusive after the Agent Fallout. Let me adjust my tinfoil cap.
Yeah.
But yes, of course Red Dead will be
course.
fucking exclusive. You know what I'm saying? What do you know about it?
Wait, are we allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
shit! All right,
not
great.
allowed to
swear?
I don't know. You
This
just
is the
did
internet.
the first
I don't know.
swear. I don't
Why,
know.
it's
People are always like,
giant
"Don't
bomb."
swear," and I'm like, "Oh
Mike-
fuck! All right."
Mike,
Have you
Bill's
s-
not here. It's okay.
So, Mike, have you been around the show? or-
I've kept up with the show. I haven't been around the show. I'm excited about the new Metroids. I'm excited about the Metroid 2 remake. I'm curious to see if it's as good as the fan remake, which I know
Right.
was off the internet and not legal, but I still played it a lot. So I'm interested in that.
Yeah, it's interesting to see.
I think you can get arrested
One
for
year
that.
is a
Actually.
Yeah, you can be arrested
Yeah.
for the playing.
It was we watched the press the 25-minute thing, and then
Yeah.
we're like, all right, well, let's shut it all down and get ready to go to the show. And then like we're just like packing. I'm throwing my laptop in a bag, and I look up and Metroid's on the screen. It's 2D Metroid. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh shit.
Right.
Okay.
Why was that not part of their press conference? Why is that not part of the
I don't-
spotlight?
it's
2017, they like to
Right,
fuck with
like
us.
Sony announced like
PlayStation
7,000
was like,
games, and they're
hey,
like,
here's
the
our
pre-show was
pre-show.
better than the show.
It's Ryan Clements doing
Right.
this for a while, and then it's all these new games.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is
They had
going
Andrew
on?
Kelly out there announcing games.
I
which
know.
I love. That's
Yeah.
great.
Look, if your thing was half an hour, would you devote 5 minutes of it to a Mercury Steam game?
Maybe that's where it breaks down. Is
There's
that
probably Mercury Steam people watching this.
You
Let's get a
jerk.
Really
How
hit
did
Yeah,
that
fuck
thing.
you guys.
Everybody can make bad games and then make a good one.
Yeah, I know, but they got feelings. They got like.
do they?
They got families. Their kids are watching this, being like, "My pops made a game," and then you just shit on it, and they're like, "Oh, pops, you ain't nothing."
Are you in Metroid too?
No, I did have a game that was announced in that mid PlayStation thing. I wrote for that game, That's You, which is like just a party game made by Wish Studios. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody play it. You have to play it. If one of you buys it, the first person who buys it, who tweets at me, you're allowed to punch me in the shoulder.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, that's a problem.
Good deal.
Yeah,
That's
they're
a
allowed
he
to
is
punch me
weak
in the
Shoulder.
shoulder.
If you buy That's You
Is
for
that a pre-order
PlayStation,
now?
you're allowed to punch
Shoulder.
me in the shoulder, any
my
shoulder
friends
of your
down there.
choice.
Wait,
Can I
either
pre-order
shoulder?
it?
Yeah, can we pre-order this on my phone?
If you
Can we get this
pre-order it,
on-
I will let you punch me in the shoulder on camera.
Okay.
Very
There he's
sensitive
going.
area of the
Everybody's reaching for
shoulder.
their phone.
Yeah,
It's
right.
This is
move.
like the most
I've been waiting
effective.
to
I mean,
punch
you use the
Mike.
phone to play the game, so if you use the phone to buy the game,
Yeah, you can
really
punch me.
it's just this.
You're
this
allowed
is
to hurt
all
me.
synergy.
It's tomorrow.
Physically
and, like,
hurt me.
It's
Smoke in
Sony
the streets.
headquarters.
Smoke
Like,
in the
yeah,
streets.
everybody pre-ordered
it's a
this
race
game. It
between
was
you.
weird.
Yeah, just at midnight. I don't know. Everyone decided that they wanted to get into that
Yeah.
too. I don't really get it.
Yeah, that's it. That's my offer. That's my pre-order bonus.
All right,
you get to punch me.
I will consider.
That's not official, by the way. Nobody has approved me to
That's
say
a Giant
that.
Bomb official pre-order bonus.
Yeah, that's.
I
pretty
will
much
never
it.
work in games again.
Well, that's neither here nor there.
So
you know.
Mercury Steam
Yeah, so Mercury Steam
is
making that game.
inauspicious a little bit.
And well, I feel like that they are probably capable, but like looking at the game, I was like I think even Dan said that kind of looks like that Castlevania game that wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And then that was right when like John McCarty tweeted, "It's Mercury Steam," and I went, "Huh? Well, you're right. It is."
I
Yeah.
mean, but it's okay because it's not like Nintendo's ever given Metroid to a company that made a bad Metroid game.
Of course not. Yeah,
Yeah, it's never
absolutely.
happened.
They've all been
Nailed
good.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
thing about
love
this
the
one
other
is-
M where she had no emotion in all of her dialogue they added in.
Yeah, no.
I
that's,
saw the baby Metroid, but it told me that I should.
Well, you know, Team Ninja really good at writing female characters, so
And emotion.
But
yeah.
the jiggle physics,
nuance.
yeah. Well, you turn the age
Smoke
slider.
it.
all
So
the
that
way
was
up
maybe that's
and
the problem that like her armor made it so that there was no jiggles, so like they couldn't
Team
emote
Ninja
the way
couldn't
that
connect
they usually
with the
do.
character
Yeah.
the way that they wanted to. Yeah, that's,
It is hard to connect
I
through all that
suppose so.
armor.
You have to finish the game fast
Yeah.
enough, and then there's a whole thing. Mary and Amarisse, have you been like not? I mean, Mary, you're done, so you're just like hanging out, seeing the show, or are you like,
Yeah.
let's hang out in LA and do whatever?
I didn't go to the show yet today. We're working on the next episode of Fresh Doc, our sneaker show, which is premiered on Twitch.
Are you like visiting LA-based stores about
Nothing yet.
shoes?
Nailed it.
And I haven't done any like
the
shoe
URL,
culture
drop the
yet.
Okay.
But,
Do I rate at
yeah,
all?
those are the
There's-
Jordan Retro 4s. Those are pretty rad.
Wow.
Jeff is actually always rocks pretty good sneaker.
I got.
Guest host the show.
Get on the
You wanna
show.
come on?
I would come. I feel like I'm pretty shallow in my likes when it comes to shoes. I don't go too deep. I like to wear my shoes. These people that are like, I'm gonna dead stock these and put them in a closet for 9 months. Like, that's stupid. Wear shoes.
It's a bit too advanced, yeah.
Yeah. I
understand, like, half
I just
the
observe
words.
them and say, those are nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Amarisse, have you been like hanging out around the show doing stuff? Or?
Yeah, I stopped by the show floor and it was mad. So I found the one place that I could just stand for a while, and that was at the Splatoon tournament. And it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was great.
Poor Nintendo.
Damn.
No, whatever. That's
Esports.
there's like
I
there.
guess it wasn't near New Donk City.
Yeah, there are big lines for all those games, and we found early in the morning, Dan and I found like in the very center of Nintendo where they had the amiibo case.
Yeah.
There was like a good spot there you could stand and like breathe and it was fine, but like everything around us was just chaos.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was crazy.
The
Greg?
Halo Wars 2 area of the
Yeah.
Microsoft booth's pretty open if you want to like go there.
All right, well that's
Yeah,
I'm
tomorrow.
okay. I'm-
Halo Wars area of Microsoft.
No,
they're
it's real.
literally
Is that
showing
real?
Yeah, it's a
Halo
real
Wars
place.
2. There's
Yeah, there's
Halo
a-
Wars 2
Oh, man.
firefight is.
They announced an expansion
Yeah.
because they're bringing back everyone's favorite part of Halo.
Yeah.
The Wars?
Firefight.
Not playing Halo?
The Flood.
Everyone
likes the
right,
Flood,
yeah,
right?
everyone loves the Flood. Greg, you love the Flood.
I love the flood.
Yeah.
Making floods happen for a long time, if you know what I mean.
I hear you.
My question for
I don't
you
know.
Yeah, let's hear it.
is so with all you're
You should
wondering.
make him explain
You're
it.
wondering. I'm in love
Mary
with
needs
this.
to know.
No, don't worry about it. You're walking on. Are you getting mobbed more than usual? Are people running up to you, being, "Oh my God, Jeff
It's happening.
Gerstmann?" Yeah.
It's
Do you
happening.
see a yellow badge and just sort of turn the other way?
No, because they're all the yellow badges. Like they're outnumbering everyone else on the floor for sure. But
But it's like 15,000, right?
yeah, that's what
how
they
many
said the
pieces
number
they sold?
was. Yeah,
Technically, we outnumber them, right?
I think
It's not a war.
But we know better than to go
Why
out
are you treating
there.
it like we outnumber them? We could kill the fans. Why are you doing that?
Coming in tomorrow with my conch shell.
Like, I will lead you.
yeah, no, it's been crowded,
Yeah.
and it's been. I think my problem with it is that the show has not changed to better
No,
accommodate
not at all.
people.
That's fair.
And that's the
Sorry,
there's absolutely people should be led into E3, but E3 needs to adjust for that and
Not just add them in willingly.
right when you're walking through Sony and they've got like a full row of theater experiences with very short room for lines, and then Battlefront and Destiny 2 right on the other side. Like that whole hallway is shit. Like it's fucked up. You can't get where you want to go.
Like I don't begrudge them being here. I want them to have fun. They spend a lot of fucking money
Totally.
to come,
Yeah.
like both for flights and hotels, and apparently the organization and what they got has
Yeah.
been minimal. Like
This is-
they weren't even told about the press conference stuff. They had no idea that press conferences are not part of E3.
Right.
This has been the biggest thing since the announcement. All of our kids hitting me up and being like, "Hey, I'm going. Does this get me to the conferences?" No, it doesn't.
No.
And me also saying like, "I'm not gonna stop you. I don't want to stand in your way." But this is not gonna be PAX. PAX is,
Yes.
hey consumer, hey fuck off media, hey consumer, come in
Right.
and do this and do that. Where I'm like, you're maybe gonna have one kiosk, but all the behind closed door stuff you're not gonna be able to get to. That's not what that
Yeah.
And you
is.
see people on the second, like the concourse area where people have meetings, like wandering around looking into places like Astro or Sony's like thing, thinking that they can go in there and check stuff out,
Yeah.
and looking really sad.
We had
they
so
can't.
we kind of hang out in the GameSpot area upstairs. And I think you have some. We saw your names on some tables up there too.
They
for,
better
for
have that.
hanging
That was
out,
part
yeah.
of our contract.
Yeah, well, fuck.
With kindafunny.com.
Hey, you want to fucking talk about some bullshit?
Yeah.
No, actually, well, no.
They spelled your name with a G.
No, there are 4 seats saved for Kind of Funny.
Yeah.
3 for Giant Bomb.
You gotta get a better lawyer.
Yeah, we got.
Get Nick
we gotta-
Scarpino to represent
yeah.
you in these contract
Yeah,
negotiations.
Yeah, well,
But I think
Where did Nick
going to
get
that
his
point,
lawyer?
like I think that
Don't ask these questions.
I think that people didn't understand what E3 was.
Exactly.
I think that E3 has always been sold as this very magical experience where it's like I can see and play new games and I get to get my hands on the newest thing immediately, and it's not that.
There's a mystique to it.
There's
like
a mystique
everybody
to
wants
it.
to go.
But it's not like what PAX did, I think, very successfully was PAX created a consumer E3 experience.
right,
And this is not a consumer experience, it's a media and vendor experience.
This is a business experience.
Right, exactly.
Ignoring the basic structure of E3, which is not suited to this, like this year in particular, there's a lot of stuff that was shown that is not playable. So they're seeing like the biggest games of the show, and we're not even playing them behind closed doors. So they're waiting in line to play like also ran shit, except for a few games.
Right.
And it sucks. It's a shitty thing for them, and I feel bad for the people who did this.
Here's my thing, though. I agree with you in theory, but my problem with PAX is always the thing where we're at a meet and greet and talking to somebody.
Yeah.
What did you do today? I waited 2 hours to play this game that comes out in 2 months. I'm like, oh my god, 2 hours? Are you upset? Like, no,
I
it
had a
was
great
great.
time. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Right,
like
but at
that's.
least there they played it. Here they're waiting 5 hours in line for a theater demo.
You assume they get to go home and say the same thing of like, no, I saw the Spider-Man thing and they took a different route and this thing happened.
Yeah,
Or the theater caught on fire.
right.
That's another.
Yeah.
That's making memories.
Yeah, that is definitely a memory.
Yes.
And shout out to the guy with the balls in the crowd to be like, fire, fire.
Yeah.
I'm
And
like,
he said-
clap if you enjoy. And people are like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt.
Wait, was
the
there a
panel.
fire in a theater?
There was
Yeah,
a fire
yeah.
during the
So-
Spider-Man, and then the host said, "This game's real hot right now."
Yeah. Nailed it. Brian
kept
from
going, yeah.
Insomniac. Good job.
So that's kind of the.
Yeah, it was.
And then they were like, "No shit, seriously."
Like, no,
it's
actually,
fire."
we have to go.
Everyone's like, "You're gonna die."
The
Jeff Keighley came out.
Yeah.
Get out of here! Little fireman's hat on.
If Jeff puts down both his phones, you know it's serious.
Yeah, definitely. And so that's the other aspect of E3 this year is they kind of have a panel schedule, but it seems like it's one theater and one panel at a time.
Yeah.
But I look at this and go like, they'll figure it out because they have to, because I think as an industry show, E3 will not be the size they need it to be to make the money they want it to make, to have the footprint,
And that's got to be the big thing, right? This is all a money move, so you do this, but then it's the thing of like, now I think you have to start worrying about moving it, right? Because PAX works because it's like, hey, 2 giant thing show floors and then panels up here, panels down there. Whereas this one's like, hey, 2 giant show floors again, but then leave LA or leave the convention center and walk over to LA Live and do that, and that sucks. Nobody wants to do that.
Right. Yeah. Or they set up something where it's like, hey, we've got business day, like do a Gamescom or a TGS and have here's our
Which would be
public
a great
day, here's our
move.
business days, and that might work also. But it's I don't know. It doesn't seem like a great experience. I know if I had paid $250 to get in and wait in line for this stuff, I would be like, what am I doing? But yeah, you're right. I've definitely talked to people at PAX who were like, yeah, we waited in line for 6 hours to play Mass Effect.
awesome.
And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, it was the best. And it's like, okay. I was
Like,
like,
I don't know that facial animations, but maybe it'll turn out. We'll talk to you later.
Or it's like everyone brought their 3DS and they're standing in line together
Right.
and having a
Yeah,
good time.
yeah.
So like the community aspect is maybe some of that is still here.
Sure.
Like we stopped by, or they stopped by the E3 merchandise booth where they are selling some real doozies.
I heard about these things.
Oh yeah.
I
yeah.
survived E3 2017. I was there.
You know, they
True
sold out.
gamer.
They
that's
actually
the scary
had
part.
yeah.
They sold out of a lot of the designs.
But like
Another
once
problem for
the
consumers.
tweets
Yeah.
went up, it became I'm buying this as a joke.
Well, I don't know. These
now.
these
I don't
assholes
know.
bought like 6 shirts.
Dan,
and
you bought it for real?
They're gonna try to expense them.
Did you
We bought
really?
them ironically, but we saw lots of people buying them completely
Oh,
unironically. Haha, that's
I'm sure,
hilarious.
yeah.
I'm buying them.
They still got your money though.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You can buy it ironically. They got your $40.
You're not wearing. I saw in clips earlier you were wearing it while poorly dabbing. Like
It's
no.
It's funny how little
Rest in peace, Dave Lang.
capitalism cares for your irony, sir.
Also, the shirt said like, "Yeah, I survived E3." No one's asking. Like, no one at your hometown cares.
You don't get to
Trust
say
me,
you
they're gonna
survived
tell.
E3 until after you make it out of the 7-day plague window when you
Right.
get home, okay? So
Yeah.
just hold off a little bit.
Yeah, it's just a very weird thing where I look at last year when they had that kind of separate E3 live thing
Sure.
that was like an
EA
insane. No, there's that, but also like the
Keely did
area where
another
like
thing when I
there was
was
like, hey, we got a
laughing over
Facebook booth, and you could play that Lego game. There were like 3 games in that thing,
Yeah.
and 5 places to buy bad shirts, and it was a horrific joke. And you look at it and go like, same thing I said, like they'll get it right eventually. And then when they announced it for this, like, okay, well, at least they're announcing it a little bit earlier. Like, hopefully they've spent a lot of time thinking about how to integrate the fans into this thing. And no.
I don't want to call it deliberately exploitative because I don't think that it is. But there's the problem with the perception that it could be seen that way. Like, because these are people that aren't getting what they think they were going to get.
Right.
And people today seemed excited at the beginning, but at the end of the day, there were some very like bummed out looking people walking around looking for something to do.
Those were journalists.
It feels like someone is playing theme park and like is doing a bad job at putting in enough like food prices are too high.
Like the journalists are the ones that look like the raptors in the like tall wheat field or whatever, just like plowing people aside to get to their fucking appointments.
But I don't know. They now have the bragging rights. I don't know. Whenever I go,
who are they bragging to?
The people who didn't get to go, who don't know any better.
Yeah, but you could just lie. You can lie. If you're watching this, just lie. No one's gonna ask.
So you can get a Sharpie and write your own shirt.
Right, you could be like, I went to E3 and no one's gonna be like, no you didn't. Yeah, I saw Shadow of the Colossus on PS4. No one's gonna be like, oh man, I didn't know that. Just lie.
Just get a blank T-shirt and a pen and write I and then a picture of a screw and a nut and a bolt and then E3. And then wear that shirt.
I nut and bolts.
I nut and bolts E3. I nutted on E3.
I nuts and bolted.
I screwed.
I nutted and bolted
E3?
on the E3.
myself.
I screwed myself by going to E3.
Yeah, there you go.
Look, we're designing better E3 T-shirts right here, right now.
That thing you just said was better than any E3 T-shirt sold by some guy on the street.
I feel pretty comfortable. Actually, we had the idea earlier that we should be out front selling bootleg E3 T-shirts,
yeah.
just like
Hell yeah.
Black Bart Simpson.
For the
and,
first
all the whole-
pre-order, I'll
all the
punch
way-
you
all the
in
way back
the
to
Yeah, you can punch me in the arm. Thank you.
Yeah.
I will
I'm
say-
just saying there's money to be made.
I will say this was also like a particularly bad E3 to open to the public. Like I feel like there's like you said, there's like nothing playable, but it's also like all right. Like it wasn't an
Remember
exciting
last
one.
E3? It's like those games again, but they're further along.
There's more of them,
And,
and
and some of them are still not playable by anyone.
I feel like we saw more 2018 games in 2016 than we saw here.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, I don't know. It's you're right. It's a bad match, and you would think normally at this point in the console cycle, this is the point where they're like, "Yo, we're just making games because we sold a lot of these consoles, and now we're just cranking them out." Yeah.
This actually really feels like a lull. Like it seemed like it was primed to be a hardware show because the game stuff is just like we're in that sort of dead space where we're waiting for things to happen. God, I miss Dead Space.
Oh God, no, there's no kind about it. We missed Dead Space.
Yeah. Anyway, but this really could have been a hardware show, but obviously Microsoft fucked that up. So yeah, it's just like this weird spot where either it's new hardware or nothing. And yeah, it's just a weird show.
But also new hardware isn't that exciting anymore because we do like the cell phone model of like, hey, it's the Xbox XS2. And you're like, okay, do I buy this or do I not buy this?
You can imagine the mom at Christmas that's just like,
Right.
what
See,
the
yeah,
fuck do
they're
you
gonna be
want me to
fucking-
buy?
they're gonna
Is
be-
it the Xbox X, the S, the X?
Especially if your kid has a list.
Was my child
It's an Arrested Development bit, literally.
Right, yeah.
But there are going to be like 2 waves of tears on Christmas mornings when some kid says, "I said X, take it back. It's $500," and they say no.
Right.
And it's the second wave of tears. But I'm the weird person here that has like the 4K TV that sees that shit
too.
and says, "I absolutely want that. I'm pissed that I'm going to pay $500 for it, but I'm going to pay $500 for it."
I look at where they're at with that stuff, and yeah, I mean, if they had matched the PlayStation for the Pro price, then we'd have a different conversation because it'd be like, they're getting aggressive and taking it to them, and let's go. But instead, it seems like they're like, hey, you know what? 4K TVs are expensive, and the people that bought them probably would benefit from something like this. And they'll probably pay $500 for it.
And it's not, I mean, Microsoft practically talked more about the PS4 Pro than Sony did. So
Yeah.
Well, that's what's been interesting about it for me is the fact that when last year at E3, Microsoft's like, Scorpio, Todd Howard's talking about how great it's going to be, this thing, and you were like, oh, they're teasing something a year out. This is going to be a true next step, blah, blah, blah. And then PlayStation had their PlayStation 4 Pro event, and I remember watching me like, this is stupid, I don't want to buy this.
Right,
This
but
is a dumb way to-"
remember last E3, we all expected them to reveal the Pro before they said at the last second that they weren't.
Sure.
And their press conference was 20 minutes shorter than it usually
Sure,
is. So
sure.
what the fuck was going on there?
I mean, we didn't give them enough credit for reading the tea leaves or whatever. But Andrew House had that Business Insider piece or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the week before E3, he was like, we're not showing the Pro there.
Yeah.
We're not doing the thing. But it was the fact that I was like, that was a dumb way to do it, that press conference. guess. But then it's like, oh wow, a year out, you're just teasing something that basically is the PlayStation 4 Pro. Like, I mean, I know it's more powerful, or whatever. But as the internet would tell you, the #1 PlayStation fan, like the guy who was like, I'm not buying a fucking Pro. Like, I don't need a Pro. I got a PlayStation. I have 2 that work great. Whatever.
I will
One's really
say
loud.
that the press more or less extorted Microsoft into announcing the Scorpio as one of the outlets that helped to break that story. Like, we didn't
son of a bitch.
really give them a lot of choice because we're like, oh, this exists. Maybe don't buy that console they're going to announce at this show.
But there's also such weird mixed messaging where they're like, the world's smallest Xbox. Oh, okay. Like that doesn't
who's bragging
sell me.
about
Like,
small things?
Like it's not, and also like, and I get like the idea of 4K, but when you're like 4K like never before, it's like I can't see that on a stream I'm watching at work in a small window.
Right. Yeah, and that's
you're not
their
convincing
challenge,
me
is to show that stuff because even
Same
like,
with VR.
Right, yeah.
Same deal. Yeah.
everybody watching that stream, even at E3, like watching a stream, saw games that looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Everybody in the auditorium that saw that stuff on the screen they had it on saw games that looked incredible. Like, fun or not, like every game at that press conference looked incredibly sharp.
Yeah.
Because they were all fucking 4K Xbox One X games or whatever.
Yeah, and then but I've got a really powerful PC, so I can watch that stream and just go like, yeah, I know what that looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I went to they had their event that I saw you at, and they had everybody sit in the theater, and then they show you a scene from like a little bit of Gears of War 4, and you're like, I like Gears, it's fine. And this, look, I played it on PC. It looks really good. So this, like, showing this, I get it. Like, I'm not dumb.
And the funny thing about that
weird.
is, like, they had all that stuff last September to show people on Gears of War. Like, so they're just, like, recycling stuff. I think that they have good hardware, but there's not a good way to show it because it's another instance where when this console generation started, it's we're moving to 1080p, everybody, but we didn't have video capture for fucking 1080p.
Sure. Right, yeah.
Like, we had no way to show people how much better games looked than the last generation.
Well, this is the same problem I think you face jumping from, I mean, compare PS2 to PS3, and I'm just talking about generation cycles, obviously, and then PS3 to PS4. Whereas, like, PS2 to PS3, you're like, holy these games look way different. And PS3 and PS4, like, all right, they look better. Yeah. Sure, these are, and this is the same thing where it's like, I feel if
on the flip side, though, like you had Xbox to Xbox 360, and a lot of people saying we don't need this.
Sure.
Because these Xbox games like Riddick and fucking like Burnout, I think one of the last
Burnout
Need for
3.
Speed.
Sure. But it was online.
These look like
next
next generation things. Like
the thing about this one though is whereas if either of these companies would just be honest and be like, hey, we're future-proofing. You're going to buy your next TV will be a 4K TV.
Absolutely.
We're making a console that's iterative to do that. It is more enjoy it if you want to and not blah blah. But like when Xbox is like, it's the next fucking thing. It plays all your old games.
It's the most powerful console ever. Like,
yeah, I want that T-shirt though.
Yeah, it is true.
I think that they're doing both of those things though. They're like because they know that nobody's gonna but a small quantity of people are gonna buy the $500 console. So they're saying like here's the $250. Yes, because I'm a fucking sucker that bought a 4K
I'm the same way. Like, I'll definitely be like, oh, this is stupid, but I'll pre-order it.
I bought a Pro at launch.
Yeah. I bought a Pro.
That was before I had bought a 4K TV.
Monsters.
I still don't have a 4K TV, but I was like, oh, I'm an idiot, so I'll pay you money.
Right.
I'm sure Jeff wishes that the PS4 Pro was the stupidest discretionary video game purchase he had made.
No, yeah, it's like it's whatever. There's a long list.
This is what we do.
Yeah, this is just how it works. This is I didn't choose the video game life. The video game life chose me.
You gotta fill the void somehow.
Lost smoke. Yeah, no, I don't know. So yeah, whatever. I will end up with a Scorpio, and but at the same time, like a lot of the feature set of the Scorpio and a lot of the way they announced it, to me feels like they have been getting bullied with the same. They've been hearing the same shit for years. They've been hearing 900p. They've been hearing X-Bone.
Yeah.
And they've been hearing. So it's like okay. Well, now everything's 4K. Fuck you. Oh, this just abbreviates to Xbox. Xbox One X abbreviates to Xbox, not X-Bone. So fuck y'all. Like every step of the way, it feels like them just going like, we're tired of it. Yeah. We're tired of hearing about it. We're fixing the problems.
And then PlayStation's like Shadow of the Colossus, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna go that way. Like we still like it's the third time I'm gonna buy Shadow of the Colossus, but I will gladly do it.
Keep making games. Like,
Keep
that's
making
the thing.
games.
And Microsoft didn't show off any really games that I want to play, whereas at least the other two companies had some games I want to play.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I have a deep respect for Forza. I think Forza Horizon has kind of taken over the place of motorsport in my heart as, like, this is the game I actually really want to play. But I don't know. That stuff all looks like I'm pulling for Crackdown. As someone who really enjoyed Crackdown 1, I hope that Crackdown 3
I wish
is
Terry
good.
Crews was actually in the game.
He is in the
Oh,
game.
is he? Is
he
he actually?
Yeah,
I
he's
thought that was
character
just
in
a
the game.
marketing
He's
thing.
also
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
I'm trying to remember what I was told I could or couldn't say at this point.
You can say
he's
it all.
in the game.
It's fine.
No, there was
Yeah, it's
literally something
America.
that was said today that was supposed to be
Can we,
said.
can we talk about that? Like, I'm not really in the game industry as much anymore. That is so frustrating when it's like, what can I? It'll be a good game, but I can't tell you why it'll be a good game.
God,
then I'm not
you're
going to
talking
buy
about
the game.
Geez,
Right.
you're talking about this like it's a job or something.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing of Judges Week. We played Sonic Mania. You get to this awesome part in Sonic Mania. You're like, I can't wait to tell people that Sonic Mania is great because of this. And like, you can't say
Yeah, that'll be in a month.
Right.
son of a bitch.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff like that. for
Crackdown
sure.
is.
Wait, were people not supposed to say that thing?
Did you say it? Say it right now.
I don't know.
If the cat's out of the bag, the cat's out of the bag.
I don't know.
Say it to her face.
Like, the Crackdown thing is that.
You can have sex with Big the Cat.
Yes.
I gotta go.
Pre-ordered.
Gotta write a news story. Gotta get this going. Yeah.
The weird thing about Crackdown is that they, in a way, they've changed that game because of all the shit that they took about the always online stuff.
Right.
Sure.
Like that they are terrified of making a single player game that needs to be always online, and without always online, they can't do the destruction.
You wanted
So,
that
like,
power of the cloud? Now you
Yeah,
don't get it.
exactly. It's like, oh, you want destruction? Well, you complain too much about always online, so you don't get to have nice things unless you're playing competitive multiplayer.
Yeah. It's
So it's, I saw an extended demo of it today and talked to him a bunch about it, and I played it, and it's fun. Like it's Crackdown.
yeah.
But is it further than Crackdown, or is it just Crackdown again?
It is further than Crackdown because like everything is much bigger. Like there is no building in that game that you cannot get to the top of, for example, and they built it that way on purpose. And I'm looking forward to that. Like everything that Crackdown did, it should do better. But I do think that they made promises with that game that they feel like they can't keep because of the way that people react if they do.
Sure.
So they're in a shitty place.
Yeah. But if the
It's Matrix's fault, is what I'm saying.
I mean, honestly, like a lot of
It is.
You could
It
lay
really
a lot
is.
of stuff at the
Yeah.
feet of the previous regime over at Microsoft. For
And
sure.
I even wonder if the $4.99 price would be taken better if it didn't exactly match the announcement of the Xbox One price 4 years ago.
That,
Like,
that might not be.
how
helping
did
them.
no one consider the optics of that?
At some point, like they have bosses too that they have to kind of report. And if they don't say, "Oh yeah, sure, let's lose a bunch of money on this thing and go for it," then they're like, "Okay, well, let's run responsible business instead."
Right, but at least invert the structure so it isn't an exact mirror of the bad decision from last time.
Yeah, but it looks like a PlayStation 2.
Nailed it.
It really does look like a PlayStation 2. I thought when I went to IGN to do their live stream, they were doing photos of it, and I was like, this looks like a PlayStation 2 Slim.
Yeah.
That's all I
I'm
could think.
into
Like
it.
the whole time looking, I was like, it's a PlayStation 2.
I thought that, and then I looked at it for a while and said, I like that PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that PlayStation 2.
into it.
It's a good
PlayStation 2
system.
is really good.
It's a good system.
Yeah, one of the best ever.
It's a very cute system.
Yeah, I'd get another system that looks like a PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
That was a good game. System.
PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2.
.com.
Yeah. All right. Let's just get PlayStation 2s.
Yeah,
There are a lot of
Smuggler's
games
Run.
for it. Yeah,
Why
see?
do we
Yeah,
ever move forward?
I still have mine.
Yanya Kabbalista featuring Gawu. Well, all right, that's going to wrap it up for the night. I want to thank everybody for coming by.
Cheers.
That's terrific. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the show.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you so much for running the late shift here with me.
Of course.
It is midnight.
Perfect.
Is it really?
Ish.
Is it what?
It is midnight.
Chug,
Oh, wow.
Chug, chug,
Oh, no,
chug,
this is
chug,
peer pressure.
chug,
Don't-
chug, chug,
Don't,
chug,
you don't
chug,
have to listen
chug.
to him.
Yeah, everybody
My
follow
girl.
Mary Kish on
I
Twitter.
could not do past that part.
Her handle is
This is all vodka, by the way.
That's
This is not water.
Thank you.
what?
No.
End
it's
the
all
segment.
vodka.
All right, I don't. Well, then we definitely have to cut this off because this is going to be trouble in moments here. I've got a sparkling water here. It's lime. So I'm going to drink that.
Now, why don't you drink the LaCroix?
LaCroix?
Everybody loves the LaCroix.
I like a nice LaCroix.
Thanks for tuning in to Game Informer, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
It's, that's you on PlayStation 4 and How to Be a
Back to you,
Person
Tim Terry.
podcast.
Yeah. And we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. with another batch of guests and stuff. So be sure to tune in and check that out. It'll be a banger.